Hi, and welcome to my film podcast, Film Talk. I haven't done it in a while, but I am back, and I have just been to see, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and all I have to say is wow. Like, I am still in shock. Just Tom Cruise just never fails to shock us. Like, I'm shaking, my brain is like filled with emotions, and like, this is just what good cinema does to me, and that film was an amazing example of brilliant cinema. First of all, I want to start off by saying, yes, okay, I can be nice about Tom Cruise films, but there is a reason, and that reason is he makes cinema. He makes true cinema, and he will never fail. One day, if he ever fails us, something is wrong. It's not the real Tom Cruise. And he just won't. I just know he won't, because I don't even have words to describe it. It's just amazing. And I want to say that the characters in this movie brilliantly thought through. This movie has taken a very, very long time, as we all know, waiting for it to arrive in cinemas, arrive on our screens, and it's finally here. I am annoyed as I didn't get to attend the premiere for this film, as I just missed it and I wasn't able to try and get there, but I will try and make it for part 2 if they have the premiere again, Leicester Square. I'm just so happy. I'm still in so much shock. That's why I wanted to record this podcast now, because I wanted to catch the emotions I still have. I mean, to be fair, I probably will wake up tomorrow and still be shocked, because I have seen my very first Mission Impossible film in a cinema, because I've seen all of them, but only at home, only on DVD. I used to actually not be a fan of the Mission Impossible films when I was younger. However, as I started to grow on cinema, and as I started to grow on more of learning of Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie's films, I started to get a grasp for it, and all the other directors that had worked on it and producers. And in this film, the stunts are brilliant. They are no other. Honestly, this man goes far and beyond for us, just for entertainment. And to think he risks things, Sorry if it sounds like I've got a list, but I have got retainers in. But he just, again, I have no words. It's just, wow, I'm speechless. It's just one of those films that leaves you speechless. It leaves you with so many emotions. It had me crying in the cinema. I'm not going to say whether or not that's happy or sad tears, but just wow. I even came home and I was just so proud of everything the crew has worked on. I sound like I know them. I don't. I wish. And to think that they've worked so long on making this, and they've committed to it as well, during COVID, and they still went for it. And I remember I was reading, I don't remember the month it came out, but I was reading one of the Empire magazines, and it had a page in an article about Mission Impossible, this film, while it was still filming through COVID. And I remember reading it and thinking, wow, they're so committed, and I just love that. We need people that are that committed to cinema, to help us keep it and everything. But with this film, just the plot, the angles. I mean, Mission Impossible is pretty famous for using Dutch angles, and this film is filled with them, but in such perfect ways. They don't overdo it, they don't underdo it. It's just perfect. And of course there's a car chase, which is iconic, and just watching that car chase, my adrenaline was pumping so hard. I was watching it, and my brain was being driven with the car. It was just insane. I'd never been so tense. At one point I thought I was gonna break, my teeth or something, because I was just so clenched, and there's just gonna be nothing like it. I mean, I can't even believe to think what's in the new film. Like, I just can't at all. The acting, brilliant, again, of course, always is. And the action, the iconic running from Tom Cruise himself, wow. He just, that stamina, I don't even know how he keeps it up. A lot of training. And I'm just, like, my brain is so overwhelmed. Like, I get this thing, if I watch something so good, I will be very hyperfixated and very overwhelmed by it. So I'm just trying to collect my thoughts. With Hayley Atwell's work, amazing. Rebecca Ferguson, amazing. Simon Pegg, of course, and just everyone else involved. I just love the character arc of it. Like, I'm trying to decide whether or not it's a plot-driven or a character-driven. I'm gonna say plot-driven, actually, now thinking about it, because, I mean, it is Mission Impossible. Like, I feel like it's very plot-driven. And of course the train scene, which a lot of us would know about by the advertising and the promoting beforehand and seeing behind the scenes when they were filming. The train scene is one of those scenes that I will never forget, and I think it will be, like, come 10 years from now, it will be one of the most iconic scenes. Like how in Rogue Nation, an iconic scene is the holding onto the side of the plane. You know, like in Ghost Protocol, the big scene is him climbing up the tower. In the first one, obviously, Ethan Hunt wasn't as big of a character as he is now, but it's still, like, for the drop, I haven't seen it in a while, the first one actually, but when he drops from the sky thing, and then, you know what I mean, if you've seen it, just incredible. And I just want to say that I'm proud of everything that went into it, and it's definitely worth the wait, definitely. I really hope the next one we don't have to wait as long. But just and there's also, like, I love it because they add comedy into it a little bit. Like, it's not one of those actions where it is continuous action, which is brilliant, but it's also not too dark, if you know what I mean. Like, there are some films where I watch an action film and I find sometimes it's a little bit too serious, and I want the occasional, like, laugh in between. And with the Mission Impossible, I feel like that happens, especially with, like, Benji's character and everything. That's why I just love Benji's character, because he's just sort of like an outcast, but, like, involved very well. And I just love, like, the friendship groups bonded in these films, and this film as well. This film, the friendship bond, you can tell, was very, very strong between Simon Pegg's character and just everyone. But I really recommend you go watch it, especially on the big screen. This is a film where you need to experience it on the big screen, and I was lucky enough to experience it on the date it came out on cinemas. And it's just, you need to watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Please, for just entertainment and just to feel great, really. Like, I don't even know what to say. This podcast is going on. It feels like I haven't been talking for that long, but it is going on. Wow. One thing I do quickly want to add is that when I said that Ethan Hunt in the first one was as big of a character as I mean his character development, like, his character's developed over the years, because obviously he is a good character, big character in the first one. I just wanted to restate my point as I listened to that, because I just double check with my podcast back, and I was just a bit like, I need to add to that, just so people know that I've seen the film. This was my podcast for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I haven't done them for a while, but I will promise that I will keep up my podcast episodes, and I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode, and I will hopefully be making another one very, very soon, and I will keep them updated. So yes, hope you enjoyed.